Alright, and hello everybody, and welcome to another Wednesday Starfleet Command stream, Orion Pirates Plus Mod, of course, as we will once again be continuing our Interstellar stream campaign. So let me quickly get my thing set up over here so it actually sees what we're doing, and let us continue what it is we were doing. So we're going to be streaming, as usual, for about 2 hours today, just going to continue our little invasion of wherever we decide to end up going. Hello Raider, welcome to the stream. Reporting for tactical. Alright, let's see if we can actually keep the ship alive this time. Although, have we actually lost anything in this campaign? Maybe I'm getting mixed up with my Gorn campaign where things are not going incredibly well, if I'm completely honest. But around here, we have a heavy battlecruiser, the Benevolence. Let's go check out to see exactly what condition we're in. We're a CCY, which means we've got PPDs, maxed out on admin shuttles, maxed out on all special equipment, so apparently we're not doing too badly as of last episode. So, do we put more pressure on a planet? I think we do. So let's pop on over here. And, ooh, no mission take. Okay, so we can move into the neutral zone and see what other stuff that we managed to find. A convoy raid, so we may be jumping on top of a couple of pirates today, which would not be the worst thing in the world. Well, you picked a shiny Gorn vessel. Oh, come on. It's not, well, okay, it is kind of that terrible. Oh, it's what, a DNT? Which I'm not quite sure what the T stands for, but it is very much irritating me at this point because that ship is kind of a one-trick pony. Like, congratulations, you've been mobbed by 3 X-type, well not X-type, but 3 heavy war destroyers. Do something about it. And in that vessel, it's not really all that easy. Alright, let's make sure that we have everything going, so we're going to prep a Wild Weasel over there, while I sort of scroll on over here, very secret-like, so that nobody actually sees what I'm doing, as I quickly set up a Discord announcement to the people in our Discord that we're actually streaming, because I forgot to do that. This is a little bit of a shoestring today, but we're working to go relatively quickly, and we have free power and about to hit our maximum power threshold, so let's just kick the speed up before I go do anything else off-screen. That way we can actually, you know, keep up with the convoy, which is a bit of a difficulty sometimes. So now, streaming. Starfleet, apparently. And Interstellar stream campaign. Space. And at our brand new operations group. Because apparently, yeah, there we go. Alright, so that is alerted the Discord to what's going on. Maybe it's time for some allies. I've thought about it. I'm not really thrilled about the idea of including more ships in my little mini fleet because the AI takes that as carte blanche to start throwing even more ships at you. So right now we're having difficulty on a 1 on 3. Well, if we took another ship, we'd be looking at a 2 or 3 versus 6 or 9, and that just sort of exacerbates our problem a little bit since our phaser armament is really terrible. And we'd have to basically micromanage whoever we actually picked as our secondary ship because they would not be capable of handling themselves quite well. Oh, there you are. Wait. Oh, great. It's a Dreadnought. What do we got? It's a DNE, so at least we got that much going for us, and a Q ship, so that is relatively unfortunate. Let's go prep actual defenses on this one. We will go prep another Wild Weasel, because we've got 2 plasma arm ships that we're going to have to worry about. We're going to try and get up to relatively high speed, and apparently I'm not reinforcing my forward shield, and I took a point of damage, which has ruined the beautiful design of what my ship looks like. Do I need... Oh, wow, you are really boring in on me. Let's just pull away from this. Yeah, he's got 3 or 4 G-type plasma torpedoes, so it's not exactly the most deadly armament known to man. Unfortunately, it is going to sort of zone me away from the fleet. Didn't you say the ISC works better in groups? Oh, you mean in this campaign? Yeah, the ISC do work better in groups. That's kind of how they're designed. So dump a mine, see if you can't get them to back off a little bit. I don't think I have any real aft arcs. Oh, I know I do. I have that one 360-degree phaser turret, or whatever it is. Alright, so we've managed to duck and dodge the DNE, so we don't have to worry too much about him. He's only packing, as you can see, what is it? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10? Wow. So the DNE has more phasers than our current vessel does in the Gorn campaign. I'm going to stop comparing to the Gorn campaign, because it's a terrible, terrible campaign. But yeah, the ISC are more or less designed to work in fleets. If we set them to specific behaviors, we can actually mimic that kind of okay. It works out really nicely in the amount of firepower that you can dish out on fairly short notice. Sensor decoy is ready. That gives us a free point of power to start putting into other things. Unfortunately, our aft shield is starting to collapse, and they are catching up, which is a bit unfortunate. Where's that Q ship? Also managing to get relatively accurate shots on us. Luckily, we can ignore them. So we're just going to focus on the freighters first, because otherwise, I don't think we'd be able to kill the light ships in time in order to deal with a Dreadnought at the same time. Like, I have high confidence we can kill that Dreadnought. I don't have high confidence that we can kill that Dreadnought and kill the convoy at the same time. We would start running into more or less a lot of problems there. Let's go just for completeness sake. We're going to prep a tractor beam on this one. This is going to slow us down a little bit, which is kind of bad since he's chasing it at a speed of 31. At least we know he's not preparing his plasma torpedoes, but he really doesn't need them at this moment. And we're just going to walk right up on top of you and hit you with some plasma. So a little bit of plasma, a little bit of phaser fire, and we just got to hold on to him long enough so they can't get away. There, beautiful. Okay, next target. Start turning away, so now we don't have our weak aft shield towards other things. Unfortunately, we're not going to be prepared in time by the point that he comes up, because our phaser capacitor is not ready. You know what? We will dish out the PPD, and then we'll probably shut it off, because I'm probably not going to need it until I decide I actually want to turn and fight that dreadnought. So open fire from this range. Oh, perfect accuracy. Lovely. Starting to get some decent penetration on through. And I don't think that'll be ready in time, but our phasers, at least a half shot. Oh, half shot actually managed to do it. That's really nice. So PPD's 2 off on that one, so we don't have to worry about it. That'll give us a little bit more power to sort of shove into the rest of the ship. We're down to, what, 2 more freighters? This one's an armored freighter, so it'll actually take a fairly decent amount of hits to knock out. But as long as I can avoid you, you are really coming in pretty hard on me. I'm quite surprised at just how aggressive this dreadnought's being. Although I suppose maybe I'm just too used to playing against Romulans, who are incredibly skittish about getting anywhere near you. Alright, let's prep another tractor beam. Get hit and run from the dreadnought. Yeah, at this moment, that's my current plan. Oh, we're gonna be very close. You have made me far too weak to what I'm about to do to myself. Oh, come on, plasma. Oh, that wrong button. That one. There we go. Had to make sure I selected the right weapon system. There we go. That's another one down. On to the final one. There's only a single freighter remaining, although we have taken pretty nasty hits at this point. Luckily for us, he's got basically nothing. All right, where's my power systems at this point? So this one will go offline as well. Give me a little bit more power. How much do I got? Still nothing. Wow. Just the amount of power that we need to run the phaser capacitor and the plasma torpedoes is really sapping all our reserves. And really, this one isn't even charging at this moment. So it might be a good idea just to shut this one off, just to make sure that we have all of our additional power into something that we can use. Again, it might not be the worst thing in the world just to streak on by and use our transporters. We got 32 Marines and he's got 2. Yeah, I think that'll be the plan. Got a plasma torpedo incoming, but we are traveling quite quickly. So we will go this plasma torpedo to offline, give us a little bit more defense, and immediately it pops up. That's lovely. And we're just going to hit and run this guy. So we're going to blast him, hit him with Marines, and zip on by. The clan provider. Never mind, we didn't need to. He's taken care of. That's the entirety of the convoy. So let's just go yellow alert and maximum speed to the engines because we are gone. Mission successful, though. Also need to make sure that we're reinforcing the aft shield before we lose it. Drop a mine as we travel, just to see if we can't get them to back off a little bit, although he's in a really nasty position because he's currently striking at our starboard rear shield, and he's striking at our starboard port shield. Oh, they've got a fairly decent pincer, actually, until he turned, in which case we will actually be able to defend ourselves properly. How much power do I have for free at the moment? 7.5, that's not terrible. So a simple little hit and run here. We are able to use our command cruiser and several mines to take care of the entirety of the enemy fleet. They will not be able to stop us. Although the closest exit is probably off over in this direction. We're fine. Maximum speed of time. Yes, one's a Q ship. So FQLs do not count for whoever gets to win. So he's actually fairly well, powered and defended. He's got a pair of plasma torpedoes. But at this point, I don't want to fight this because I've got 3 shields that are mostly down. So that would become a little bit of a problem. Actually, I've got 4 shields because the only reason this shield is in as good a condition as it is because we explicitly are powering it up. I want to make sure that I'm going to avoid that asteroid. Hey, I got him to bank hard off, so he's going to be able to do nothing to me. Turn off the lock hammer just to make sure. Yes, we're good. Lovely. So we will be able to hit the convoy, destroyed it all, and got the heck out of there. Nice and safe and sound. Now, we could have turned in, tried to fight this dreadnought, and, we could spend 10, 15 minutes doing that. Unfortunately, if my shields were in better condition, I would give it a shot, but we're not. Like I said, we've got 4 badly damaged shields and only 2 of them that are sort of in any real okay shape at the moment. So we kind of need to stick to what we want to get out while the getting's good, really. Otherwise, we might lose the entire ship, and that's expensive when you're playing plasma races. Tile taken. Lovely. Let's pop up over here, see if we can put a little bit more pressure on the planet. Do we take a planetary assault? We do. We do because we have PPDs, and PPDs means that we can actually siege out a planet even if it's a PLPH. If it's not a PLPH, we can get nice and close. Alright, let's prepare for battle and see what we got to deal with. A single heavy cruiser currently off in the distance. There could be 1 or 2 other ships. It is a fast cruiser. So we had one of these in a previous campaign. It's 2 S-type plasma torpedoes and 10 phaser 1s. So not terrible, actually. He's actually got almost more power than this Gorn Dreadnought. Because the Gorn Dreadnought, the D&E, actually has 20 damage more. Because his 4 G-type plasma torpedoes, each one does 20 damage, so he deals 80 damage in total. Whereas the 2 S's on that BF are going to deal 60 damage in total, because each one does 30. And he's only got 2 of them. The planet, unfortunately, is a PLPH, which means it is going to be pretty heavily defended. We are going to have to blast our way in on that. So let's just make sure that we are enveloping our plasma torpedoes, so that we can make sure we deal the most amount of damage. Also, we don't want to forget the Wild Weasel shuttle. That way we can be properly defended against whatever comes our way. And we can kick on the speed a little bit. I'll give my... that's what I was expecting. Alright, you are also a D&E, so we got these 2 who are supposed to fight each other, and we are clearly supposed to fight each other, so we're supposed to fight that BF, and the Dreadnoughts are supposed to go kill each other. Although the question is, who will do better? And honestly, I think we might do a little bit better. Just because we're at the helm, and also because we have technically more firepower than this guy does. I mean, at the end of the day, we're packing 8 phaser 1s, but 6 phaser 3s, so at close range, we actually deal more than that 10 phaser 1 armament, and we bring our PPDs and S-type plasma torpedoes, which is a pretty hefty advantage. So let's... I don't want to do that. What do I want to do? We're going to strike from a distance of 15 and prepare to break off as soon as we possibly can. Let's not forget the shield reinforcement, because I don't want to have to get too close to what he's going to do. Although I suppose I could lob a couple of... From a distance of 15, fire 2 pseudo-plasma torpedoes. By the time I finish my PPD strike, he should be dumping his Wild Weasel and therefore not affected. Yeah, we'll go with that. That's my current plan. Gonna prep another one just in case. How much further I got for free? 10. Or, you know, if we're lucky, he could fire at the D&E. In which case, I can then just blitz him. Because I won't have any problems with that. Although that, of course, means that his D&E will be available to avoid shots. But I can do something about that. I have pseudo-torpedoes as well. Alright, you're coming in for me? I figured you might. So, we're going to... Ooh, you're going to fire already. We're going to fire from well beyond our intended range. Ooh, that was quite a few misses on that one. Not good at all. And we're going to take this one as well, because we've already gone too quick. Shut up. No, too late. Well, we took it on a shield that I didn't really care about, but we now have a pair of enveloping plasma torpedoes, which we can gift to him with extreme prejudice. And this time, I am going to stop. Oh, we just barely got underneath that one. Unfortunately, we've got him on the way, which is a bit of a problem, so let's kick on the engines at full power. PPD, I want to come back online soon, but my plan will be to fire every single pseudo-plasma torpedo I have in my arsenal at this guy to make sure that we... you know, stop him from doing stuff. Yeah, that's what I wanted to stop him from doing. So, see if I can't bring it around. There we go. We've got 2 of them. I've got 2 plasma torpedoes inbound as it is. Let's all stop. Plasma torpedoes. Offline, offline. Thought I had turned that off. Apparently not. So, I have gotten him to screw up, and he's actually tried to defend himself against that. I wanted that off, by the way. And we lost our aft shield, but I was kind of expecting that. If we wanted to play this close to the fleet, we were gonna have to take a couple of these hits. But we need to get some speed going. Oh, you little jerk. You know what? Go Marines. You want to play that game? I will play that game and I'll steal your ship for it. And this guy is way too close to comfort. Let's prep another one of these. Because he still has 2 plasma torpedoes, and I don't. I've basically fired everything I've got. And he is now free to open fire as he sees fit, because he's above the speed of the pseudo-torpedoes. And here it comes! Oh. Let's see if we can't make this work. I've tried to do this before. I don't think I've ever actually pulled it off. And, didn't quite pull it off. But I will pull out now. So we'll use that to try and guard on that one a little bit. Did I say hi, Lorendale? Hi, Lorendale, if I haven't already. We've lost quite a bit of armament already, but that's what we get for playing with dreadnoughts. It shouldn't have taken that much damage. I should have just ignored our axe holder to his fate. But you know what? I hope he can take out the Reptilicon without too much input from us. Because we've got to get on out of here so that we can return with more firepower. So he is getting free shots into my open stern. And it looks like that axe holder is mostly dead, right? You've nearly killed him. Oh yes, you have nearly annihilated him. Lovely. So we've got that going. Time to grill the stick, but burning console. Your console is fine. Seriously, every time we take a minor hit, you guys act like it's the world ending. But no, we're doing just okay. We've got another Wild Weasel ready to go, so that's 2 Wild Weasels currently in the hold. We've got our PPDs on repair. We took a little light damage to the stern, but other than that, we're doing fine. Yeah, I'm not feeling any major stress or pressure from this one so far. I mean, it's irritating to take damage because I do like to do missions perfectly, but we're not really in a position where we're gonna die soon. We've already managed to take out their fast heavy cruiser. Our dreadnought is in basically perfect shape. His is too, but that's only because we haven't been shooting at him yet, and we're about to start shooting at him. Let's go plasma torpedoes, enveloping. That way I've got both of them currently online and ready to rock. How much power? 1.5 points of power back in my systems. So those are, of course, real. I assume, yep, he will respond accordingly. He will immediately avoid the shot by using his Wild Weasel. And we'll be in a position very shortly to follow up with one of our PPDs because the other one is currently busted. So right now we would prefer to keep our front shield relatively intact. So there goes the first of the defender ships. And we already started making our presence known to the enemy. We can actually do a kind of close-in strike at this because his phasers are kind of spread out across the ship, and he doesn't have any plasma torpedoes, which means he's pretty helpless at the moment. Like, he's not all that dangerous. Talking about that, I should check the Discord when stream is over. Been busy. That's alright. The whole point of that entire Discord campaign is just so that it's easy and we can sort of chill out while doing it. I don't want it to become obligations to people, because obligations are no fun. We'll go this, and 1 point of electronic countermeasure to give myself a little bit more defense on this one. We are actually in a fairly decent position to strafe him again, although I do kind of want to get away from him in relatively short order, because I want to be far from this guy once his plasma torpedoes are ready to go. You know, let the Galitho handle all of that sort of close-range work. We, after all, are a heavy, well, a battle cruiser, technically. Yeah, there goes our shield, so we're going to accelerate, and I'm really tempted to dump a mine, but that would just screw over the axe holder. Oh, the axe holder is ours, not that. How are you going to take that? You're just going to take it. I can work with that. I've lost a plasma torpedo. Well, that's irritating. Our other side plasma torpedoes are pretty much ready to rock and or roll. We just need to get up to a fast enough speed where he can't actually touch us. And we've even got a friendly little mine that we can hide behind. Lovely. So perfect positioning on that one. I planned it all in advance. And if anybody tells you otherwise, they're lying. Or maybe telling the truth. Alright, so we're just going to zip on away from here using the defense of our mine to protect us on this one. We'll come back in once our PPDs are ready to rock and roll. Also, when our plasma S torpedoes are fully ready. We're going to mostly have the axe holder take care of most of this. I don't want to get anywhere near the enemy. We're going to sort of operate as a flagship should, well away from the damage. We'll bring it nice and gently back to the right. And he's already opened fire with his plasma torpedoes, although that looks like it'd be quite the range, and he's way too fast, actually. Oh, he's going for the crash stop. I don't think he'll make it. Yep, he did not make it, so that's a wasted Wild Weasel right from him. I think he's going to have 4 of them, just because of the stock version. Pardon me. So we are all ready to rock and or roll once we get in on him. He is increasing speed rather rapidly once again, but he did indeed launch a Wild Weasel shuttle. We want to get to a distance of about 15 for maximum effect off of our PPD. I think we're going to take him on the closing side from the mine, which is a little bit more of an aggressive maneuver. May not be something we want to fully commit to, but it does give us an opportunity to shoot at that very, very weak shield. Which part do I got in that forward shield at the moment? 0.5 points of energy. He's pulling away. Alright, we're going to see if we can't cause a little bit more pain to his stern. Missed 2 shots off of one of our PPDs, but all 4 on the other one. So that's not the worst thing in the world. We're about to have a plasma torpedo ready for a strike. So we're going to strike and pull away. Since we recently learned that enveloping plasma torpedoes are actually fired at maximum power and distance, which is very cool. That's going to strike me on the starboard rear shield, which did not hold. I gave it a little bit too much credit. And he did get a free shot in through because of that. However, that only dented the engines a little bit, which we can fix in relatively short order. I'm going to pull back away and let this engagement continue at a high-speed sprint. And we now know that we are very, very clearly winning. As you can see, the axe holder has basically no damage on his shields, whereas the Galitho is limping along at best. Our enveloping shot was very helpful in making it so that his further attacks will be even more and more effective. And our PPDs are almost ready to go again, so we're probably going to dip in here. I'm really irritated. My aft shields are so low, but that was because of things that we actively made in order to help out the axe holder. Which, to be fair, we probably should not be doing things explicitly to help out the axe holder, because it's basically useless to me. Ooh, 2 misses, 3 misses. That's not great off of the one side of the PPD. I think I'm going to plow this mine. It was useful, but not anymore. Thank you. Get through it. Yeah, it gives us an escape vector, so we can get away from these incoming plasma torpedoes and they won't actually be able to touch us. So we'll just zip on out of here and let them die off on their own. The plasma's melting out. The shields are fine, you people. Seriously, the ship is in perfect condition. It's when the ship is suddenly like leaking all over the place and we see all kinds of damage and I'm getting flustered and the hull integrity is collapsing, then we know that we're in trouble. But this is light fire. I mean, we are, at the end of the day, basically a heavy cruiser fighting a dreadnought. And not one-on-one. We did, of course, have to get through an actual fast cruiser, which was reasonably equipped. It'll more than buff out. You won't even notice. Gives the ship character. It's got to come in for another PPD strike. These PPDs charge awfully gosh darn fast. So we will have another one of these available. Unfortunately, we have been having to use them sort of at an extended range. I like to get within 15, because then it becomes pretty accurate. And you can start getting reliable, constant hits on it. But I suppose firing from a range of 20 is not the worst thing in the world. Although, with that said, I am going to consult the little pamphlet that we have that tells us how much damage things do. Yeah, 16 to 20, it's 58% chance to hit. But if you get within 15, that goes up to 73 or something like that. So, we are within the 50% chance range. He did fire a plasma torpedo miter range. And it's not put out... Ooh, wow, 2 misses. 3 misses. That was really terrible. And enveloping plasma torpedo, please. And phaser strike. And I think we may have him. Ooh, not quite, but mostly. Alright, we can pull out of this one without any trouble at all. He is down to a single plasma torpedo, which might be dented and offline. So we've got him. Here was a little bit. Yesterday's episode was recorded on a very, very bad day. It's the third attempt to record after 2 crashes and 2 awful battles, one of which actually resulted in the loss of the ship, which was very irritating. Alrighty, so we have taken care of the enemy in their entirety. Let's go take care of the planet now. So we'll just set ourselves up on a path to bombard this planet into oblivion. This is, of course, probably going to take a little while, because we're going to be dealing like 1 damage to this planet once we actually start getting this combat underway. Slow down. We need more power to the forward shield. But more power, I mean, as much as you can give me. Ooh, we're not going to have much at all. That's a bit of a problem, isn't it? Because you're a Gorn planet, aren't you? So you're going to be equipped with S-type plasma torpedoes. 4 of them, to be precise. So 4 S-type plasma torpedoes, 8 phaser 4s, 16 phaser 3s. That makes the game a little bit more difficult, especially because we don't exactly have super high power generation. We're going to be looking at, what, 24-ish, 22? Getting within a range of 15 is not going to be easy under that, especially because I have to sap even more for the electronic countermeasure, otherwise we're never actually going to hit the target. Yeah, look at him. He's going max ECM. He does not care. So we're going to have to respond in kind. Only 6.5 points power, although he may focus on the Dreadnought, which would be very helpful. Although if the planet was really smart, he would focus on us. No, he fired on the Dreadnought. Lovely. Okay, prepare for all stop. Not quite. I'm going to be a little bit closer. Ooh, good hits. Actually, the shields are down already. Lovely. So, let's get the plasma torpedoes engaged as well in this. From a range of 15, they ought to do a decent amount of damage, especially doubled. Not quite as much as I had been hoping. So, we'll make sure that all of our plasma has been selected in this one, so that we are just dousing the enemy in as much plasma as we can muster. And we'll stop. And that's a plasma torpedo to my address. This is gonna hurt, isn't it? Defense is good, it's off. Oh, forward shields are struggling to keep it together. How much power do I got in the forward shield at the moment? 7? Alright, that's something we can survive. Alright, so we managed to survive that, and then he nearly crushed the shields in 1 salvo, which is more than a little terrifying. So hopefully we can just keep the fire going, and the enemy will go away. In relatively short order at that, because if we don't cut down the armor soon on this, we're going to have some bad days ahead of us. So the planet attempting to respond with as much firepower as it can muster. We do have enough power in the forward shield to bring it back to triple green. Although I really do... Okay, he's focusing on the axe holder again, so we are safe there. So when did the Gorn help the ISE? It's just something about the way that the game slots allies for the ISE. They will fight with everybody against everybody. it's weird because if you play as the IC against the Federation, you'll get Federation helpers. If you play against Romulans, you'll get Romulan helpers. If you play against the Gorn, you'll get Gorn helpers. So basically, we get whoever we're fighting. Alright, so a decent amount of damage has been done there. We can pick up the pace and actually get on towards the planet so we can deposit our Marines. Make sure that we steal this entire planet. Please don't crash into that. That's actually really close. It's much closer than I'm used to them actually getting to a planet. I don't think I've ever seen the AI try and get that close. Well, we may as well keep the fire going down, although now I can set the PPDs to overload to make sure that we deal extra damage because we're almost within range. By the time the PPD comes back online, we will have closed it. Yeah, it is really weird, although consistent. So now we just need to get close enough to the planet to bombard the planet, but not close enough to the planet that we can't use the PPD, because overloading your PPD requires you to be within a range of 8, but you still have that minimum range of 4. So, we're going to slot here, and the Marines, go. Alright, that ought to take the planet. And we're just going to sit here, let our Marines finish killing off the remainder of the Gorn defenders, and they will secure, I was about to say all the major continents, but I suppose all the major craters might be the better description for this one, because we apparently have attacked sort of Mercury, I guess? I was going to say the moon, but you can kind of see the edge of an atmosphere over there. Give the ground a little... We may have just bombarded a friendly planet. I think the IS... No, anybody who's got a seeking weapon can do that. But the ISC can do it the most hilariously. Alright, let's see what we've got here. It's going to be 495... Yep, 495 prestige, and almost taking the planet, but not quite. So we'll pop over here. I don't really know who we're supposed to be fighting in this campaign. We didn't really make a decision. Some people were jokingly saying that we should fight the Lyrans, which are very... very far away, and I'm not necessarily opposed, but I would like a second opinion, Doc. Alright, let's get ready to bombard the... Too fast. Don't want to go too quickly. We do need, of course, to prepare ourselves for actual combat. We have a proper Gorn Dreadnought. Unfortunately, we got the Sith this time, so he is nearly unpronounceable. Twin S-type plasma torpedoes and a R-type plasma torpedo up from his quad 4s, or quad Gs. Federation versus we invaded the Federation once. The first time we tried to sort of make the Interstellar stream campaign, we ran into a weird glitch where it just would not let us progress, which was a little irritating. I'm not opposed to giving it a second chance, though. So at this moment, we're currently fighting a BF, but he's currently making tracks for this end of the galaxy. So, well, not galaxy, the solar system? Planetary system? Close enough. It looks like he's really alone on this one, though, so he's screwed. Because now he's got more than a heavy enough weight of metal, firepower, and plasma coming in his direction. No, we can do it, Raider. I'm not against it. I'm saying I was just commenting that the first time we ever tried it, it didn't work out perfectly, but we can give it another shot. After all, things in this game do not necessarily always go exactly as you foresee they will, especially when doing the exact same thing, because sometimes it does not give you the exact same results. Which tells us that we're missing something about this, but then again, the game is a little bit insane. Let's give us more speed so we can actually get something done. Now, we do know that he is going to fire from what is honestly a fairly decent defensive position. Like, he stagger fired his plasma torpedoes last time with one out to a range of over 20 to sort of keep us on the back foot. If we wanted to continue to go in, we had to basically accept the hit, which, you know, that's really interesting in terms of AI defensive tactics. I have never seen them sort of do anything that sophisticated before. But my plan, because of that in this one, is I'm going to hide behind the Sith'lith and let him do most of my work for me. I also forgot to set my plasma torpedoes to whatchamacallit, enveloping. So there's that working against us, but penetrator torpedoes are perfectly fine as well. They deal a fairly decent amount of damage, even though they're not going to strip away all of his shields for the Sith'lith to take advantage of later on. So we are now safely behind the Gorn Dreadnought, and these two will exchange fire. It's basically going to waste everything that the Sith'lith has, but it's going to be fine. So I do not want to be in front of him when this happens, so I'm actually going to not engage him during this entire thing. I want him more concerned with the Sith'lith than he is with me, which is easy enough to do. You just leave him alone and they'll duke it out for a little while. At the end of the day, I think we're faster. He's already engaged with his plasma torpedoes, so he's lost the protection of his Wild Weasel. He's got another one, with a fairly wide arc at that. But the Sith'lith has immediately responded to defend itself. Let's see which direction you're going to turn in, buddy. You still want me, but then again, it's the fastest turn rate to get to both of us. So if I can just hold you there, though, the Sith'lith has a shot with one more plasma torpedo. So I'm going to go turn to the outside. This is keeping us well out of the fight for a while, but I don't want to take damage. I tend to, like, hoard my health a little bit. And let those two sort of duke it out. So the Hurl and the Sithlith. Of course, they had to be the nearly impronounceable names. And you had a defensive decoy ready to go. That's pretty clever of you, actually. But I'm about to get within range to start bombarding you, and it's going to hurt you a lot more. Alright, we're in range. 1 miss. Okay, 1 miss, 6 hits, or 7 hits. Fairly decent number of hits on through. And I can start engaging with plasma torpedoes as well. Get the starboard side going as well. Here we go. You are about to be the center of a very beautiful plasma tornado, sir. And 1 more. Good, and now we'll come through with the phaser strafe because we're very good at it. Oh, you have no more S-type plasma torpedoes. It was a fake. I knew it was a fake. I was still scared, but it was a fake. We've been almost at 500 subscribers for like 2 weeks now, but thank you. We'll have to see if we can't do something to make 9 more people like me. Actually, what am I currently up to? I think it's 91. Somewhere around here. Not so much. Dashboard, that's the button that I need in order to actually see that. So we do, of course, need to set our plasma torpedoes. Select the game, of course. To enveloping, there we go. 492, 493, yep, pretty much. So we, maybe another couple of weeks we'll make it there. That would be interesting. And then on to 1,000. Should do something special for 500, but I don't think the frigate video is going to be ready for it. Although maybe at this pace. That frigate video is proving to be interesting. I keep waffling back and forth on what the rankings should be. The Federation have gone from 8 to 1 to 3 to 1 to 8 again. Like, they're all over the shop just because I cannot decide how to sort of place photon torpedoes versus plasma torpedoes. It's actually a surprisingly difficult decision to make, because with plasma torpedoes you gotta get close, but they'll do an insane amount of damage. But with photon torpedoes, you get to stay well away from the enemy, and in frigate battles, you don't need that much damage to start knocking out shields. So the Federation have been all over the shop. The only one who's been consistently bad is the Marak. My beloved Marak. They unfortunately do not hold a candle to most other races. This, and this, and... oh, fuck! Just did them with a ton of love. 66. And we've managed to knock out most of the defenses. We're going to get to just beyond a range of 4 so that we can continue to use the PPD. And then we're just going to strike with every single weapon we have in our arsenal. Because we can. I even thought about asking for like a fan vote about what they thought it would end up being. Figured I could poll the Discord, although probably more than half the Discord, is there for the Mech HQ game. Ah, we're fine. It'll be perfectly okay. And barrage. All right, what do we got left? How many Marines do they hold? 2. Okay, lovely. Send to the Marines. All right, we got another planet. Now this should get them down to an Empire defense of 10, which means 2 more missions will have a planet. Pardon me. So we just need to wait for our Marines to finish knocking everything out. Continue to bombard them just a little bit, just so that our ground troops can feel the love. There we go. I can see houses from here. It's a gas giant. I don't think there's houses. Or at least if there were, we may have splashed them in plasma. Which, when you start to think about it, what does the PPD do to a planet? Or plasma torpedoes in general. Empire defense of... still at 20? Really? I thought we already had it from there. Let's put more pressure on. We are also going to have to decide, if we're fighting the Federation of the Lyrians, what we want to bring to the fight. Because carriers are great for fighting ships, but terrible for fighting planets. And if we do, of course, want to do a fairly decent thing, what we're going to need is some sort of command ship and heavy cruisers out front to sort of support us, which is going to require sort of learning a whole set of new skills that I never bothered to actually learn the first time I played ISC. So there is, of course, that working against us. Although today we have brought the Community, which is a full-on dreadnought, which there's a community joke in there somewhere, but unfortunately I've never actually watched the show. As well as the Injunction, who is... oh, you're not us, but you're the heavy cruiser version of us. The CAY, the Star Cruiser, that's it. And what are we scoring off against? We've got a heavy cruiser and a planet. The planet, according to this, is a PG-2. Wait, what? PG-2 is not something that I am familiar with. ISC First Federation is something that Raider has suggested. So it's one of the things currently on offer. What is a PG-2? I'm not familiar with this. We got another fast cruiser because apparently it's a medium cruiser. So medium cruisers are very similar to fast cruisers with a few less phasers and a little bit slower, as one might expect. So what's a PG-2? Because I got to tell you, I'm not familiar with the type. And I've played this game for a very long time at this point. Okay, you're one of those. That's interesting. I'm not really sure what to do about that. Can I even take this? That is a lot of plasma and even more. No, I can't take this. Oh, but do I stay because the community's here? Community does have 4 PPDs, and that's a lot of long-range firepower. Together, we actually have 4, 5, 6, 7 PPDs. Like, that's not a small number of PPDs. We could take it, maybe, if they don't focus on us. Although that is also a lot of phaser force. Wow, you're running maximum ECM. That is bold and aggressive of you. Let's go take care of that like that. We'll see what we can actually do. Oh. So I'm slowly starting to cave on the idea of playing on a Dynaverse server. Although I still want my massive ship list from Orion Pirates Plus, so I'm still trying to think about the logistics of how we're going to do that. But I figured we could do like a community joint one, and then maybe a couple of community battles just to sort of see where our mini, small community... I said community way too many times. I blame this Dreadnought, because it's named it. Just sort of see where we all are in the rankings, if I'm as good of a commander as I think I am. Although, because I think I am, perhaps not. In any event, we have 4 points of power that I'm going to steal away from my shield so I can get in here a little more. It's the Dracora, which always reminds me of the Draconis. McCoytes. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to know more Disney movies. We are within range, so let's engage. Oh, 3 misses in total with 5 more hits. Are going to actually follow up on that one. I did not plan this. Panic reaction. It did save us. Unfortunately, we are in a bit of trouble. She carries PF. Not this version. It's an early version, so it doesn't have any of that. We got hit quite badly. Let me return fire with all of my... Oh, I forgot to turn this off. I need to learn how to default that off. I'm sure there's an ini file I can edit that'll make that work. So, I'm about to have phases, but not quite yet. Hi, have a gift from me to you. Maybe you'll actually enjoy it. More than me, anyway. And, of course, an ISC vessel with his stern towards the enemy is an ISC vessel who's about to die. So, let's get on... Oh, really? You jerk. It's gonna take us forever to fix these. So, we made a mistake just trying to engage in this fight at all. We are a flagship, after all, although we are in a fleet of flagships, so... That's not great. We'll let them duke it out. We are leaving for now. Oh, that looked like it hurt a lot. The Protector has just been mauled. That's one of the fun things, actually, of watching this game at fast speed, especially if you're playing as or with the ISC. The PPD just looks so much more dangerous. Although it is fairly decent. So we're going to rip on around out here. I will avoid you for a little while longer while we go take care of your friend over here. As we keep slowly fixing our plasma torpedo problem. I should have prefaced it with a pseudo torpedo strike. That would have made a heck of a lot more sense instead of leaving us with once again our stern shields gone. I need this plasma torpedo and that angle, and have fun with that. Good, that stopped you, and the more advantage of stopping you means that I get to maneuver away from you, where you can't touch me while I wait for my PPDs to come back online, because that's really the point of this ship. Yes, we have anti-plasma torpedoes, but really... Oh, that was lovely. That was lovely and coordinated, and you guys deserve a prize for that one. Okay, on to Death Incarnate, which I'm not quite sure if we can actually take. It's a bit of a concern of mine. So I'm just going to... How fast are you going? 15? Yeah, I'm going to slow way down. Let the Dreadnought get up front. Thank you. That's his job. More or less. Forward shield. Why is he shooting me so much? Seriously, Dreadnought. Isn't he more dangerous? Oh, you think I'm damaged. Well, we are, but that's not the point. Dinner is done. Alright, let's see if we can actually take this, because that Dreadnought is already taking pretty rough shots even from this distance, and I get the feeling it's only going to take one really nasty hit to suddenly make all of our health disappear. Community, please go towards the planet. Community, you're going to get killed out here. It's like looking at a super battleship. let's start engaging. Oh, I have to close to a range where the side shots will also deal 1 damage. Otherwise, we won't do anything. That range is 25. And at that point, we're doing 1 damage. So it's going to take a little while. Although we might be able to survive. Yeah, the injection is already mostly dead. I would feel much better about doing this if I was in a Romulan vessel. Because I could cloak and hide. The Romulans have also bounced all over the place. A little bit more damage, but not a whole heck of a lot of hits going on here. We do, of course, need to switch to maximum electronic countermeasures. That just sounds so weird. Munching while charging up the... We're fine. We're fine. We're alive. We're fine. Actually, I should check out the plasma torpedoes as well. Would they be able to reach from this range? We are at 25. Plasma S table, range of 25 is 1 damage. As opposed to 5 if we were closed 1 more line closer. Still power to charge. You cowards, get back on the ship. We're not playing a pirate campaign, so I can't make you walk the plank for such treasonous statements. Oh, really terrible accuracy. Okay, I'm gonna risk it. We're gonna get 1 closer so we can start using the plasma torpedoes as well. Oh, this is gonna suck. Please don't shoot, please don't shoot. You are way bigger than I'm designed to fight. Yeah, that's sort of case in point right there. So that's all on, and... Oh, attacker ship destroyed! We lost one of them. And... Can I actually... I have killed one of these before. It was with a Romulan ship. Okay, he's dead. Oh, wow. We're alive. 17.5 points of power on the forward shield. 21 points of power on the forward shield. It's holding. Oh, we are getting penetrating hits? That is a lot of plasma. That is just a lot of plasma. Get ready to defend. Oh, that was smart. That was skillful. Very skillful of you. Fire. We shall return plasma fire. This will work, right? This is what I've been told. Okay, where else can I steal power from on this ship? The electronic countermeasures, which I need in order to actually hit the enemy. I don't need them that much. Turn it off. ECM to offline. Let's get a little bit more defense going on here. You know what? This is not doing all that much damage, so that goes off, and that goes off. I guess it's a little bit more power. It's basically doing nothing. But the PPDs I can rely on, right? PPDs are my friend. PPDs will never let me down. I have 30 points of power on the forward shield. Okay, I can take about 7 shots of that, so that's okay. 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit. Ooh, the 1 just didn't hit at all. We're gonna be here for like a week. Not gonna lie. But we can do this. Yeah, we have plenty of wild wheels left. But why would we use them? We're at such a great distance that it's actually not gonna hurt us. Oh, we can! Haha, we can take the damage. So these two fizzle away and do nothing. So their only chance to actually deal damage to us was in conjunction with the plasma torpedoes. And they're done with that. Now, let's actually get a look at this planet as long as we're waiting, because this is going to take a little while, so we may as well get to know our brand new lover. So he is packing 4 R-type plasma torpedoes, 6 S-type plasma torpedoes. We probably shouldn't have done that. I needed that power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... Wait. Oh yeah, it's 40 phaser force. Yeah, that's the level of firepower that, that could cripple pretty much any ship, even from this distance. And did destroy a dreadnought from just a little bit closer. Oh, that's the problem with not having enough. How much power can I steal in order to make him stop? So it's the square root, so he needs 4 points. So I need 3 points of power in order to remove one of his defenses. Oh, that's just terrifying to look at. So we need 3 points of power to basically nullify 1 point of his attack shift at the moment. Oh, actually, I only need 2 at the moment, but he's going to go up the moment I use it. Right? Yeah, he responds immediately. Because he's not an idiot. Actually, no, his programming's not incredibly stupid, just mostly. So we unfortunately have to sit here and just bombard the planet and hope that everything goes mostly smoothly. Or, you know, we miss. Okay, time to pull the chat. Do we stay here and win? Because we will win. Guarantee it. At this point, I am 100% positive that we shall defeat this planet. This will take... 20 minutes or so? Yeah, 20 minutes or so. I mean, we're through the shields on one side. Stay for the epic win. Hey, Sean, welcome to the stream. So Sean's on board with victory. Are you guys? That's the real question. So we will win, though. At this point, we've demonstrated that we can take his fire continuously. We can take all of his fire continuously, and we can punch through his shields. We've won the battle. That is not in doubt anymore. But we're doing 1 point of damage per pulse that hits, because we've only managed to open up one shield, and I can't draw enough power from any of my other systems to sort of take more damage. Raiders on board as well. Alright, so we got 2 people who are on board with hanging around. So, oh, and Thornbush is here, so that's another one. And Thornbush is here because he wants the ISC to conquer all planets. Alright, so I guess we're hanging around. And Hippie is here. Hello, Hippie. I've never seen your name before, but welcome to the stream. Unfortunately, this is going to be a little bit more boring than what we normally do, simply because we're going to start sieging at a planet for the next 20 minutes. So, enjoy, relax, have a drink, and have your cat nearby to pet, because you'll need something to keep yourself calm. By the way, how are we actually doing on his shields? Oh, we're through 2 of them. Nice. Okay, so we've doubled our damage output. This is already looking way up. Wow, that plasma torpedo does like 9 damage when it actually hits. That's rather impressive, all things considered. Use probes every 5 minutes to see if you start doing systems. The problem is he's got 40 phaser 4s. I mean, the number of phaser 4s we'd need to knock out, we would start noticing serious reductions in the amount of fire that he could dish out. Although, ideally what we want is we want a range of 15, we want no attack shift to have to worry about, and we'd like to also be able to use our plasma torpedoes, but that's not going to happen. But we have managed to punch through 2 of his, well, yeah, 2 of the 3 shields that we're currently affecting. We could, if we wanted to, we're actually in plasma range. We would deal 5 damage per plasma torpedo, which if we set it to enveloping, it'll be 10 divided by 6. So there's that. So eventually that would knock out the rest of the shields and we would be doing it. Yeah, this is not the common planet. This is not even the common armed planet. This is the ridiculous planet that comes up every so often. Although I think I've run into it twice in the past couple of weeks. Yeah, we ran into this last week too, and we just didn't have the firepower to take it, but now we do. Unfortunately, we'll have rounds like that where we don't do any damage. And that's painful. And that's also going to cause... Oh, also he's got 3 repair parts at least, so he can repair several of those defenses once we knock them offline. Oh yes, 4 R's and 6 S's. But it's not the R's or the S's that matter. It's the 40 plasma, or the 40 phaser force. I mean, that's a level of firepower that you just can't really compete with. This is an Earth planet? I don't know, it looks really green to me. Like, I don't think that most oceans are that color. Although, in some contrast images of the Earth, I suppose they are. Hey, we did damage. Wonder if this is a Gorn core world? No, it's not. It's literally in the neutral zone. It's a gray planet. The fact that we're having to fight this is more than a little ridiculous. Considering the level of firepower. No, this is... Oh god, what was the one episode where the Enterprise is continuously fighting this probe and it turns out that it's a commercial? It's, the Arsenal Freedom? I forget. It was a fairly decent episode, though. Because then they beam down to the planet and they figure out how to turn on the hologram, and it's this guy giving a sales pitch about the ultimate weapon that ended up apparently destroying the entire planet. Yep, it's a neutral planet. We'll go check to see if that's the Arsenal Freedom. Because I forgot. TNG. It is. Ha, nice. Echo Papa 607? I don't understand. But we'll go with it. Yeah, the Arsenal of Freedom. An episode in which the Enterprise encounters a long-dead planet, but technical equipment still functions for the purpose of selling off its arsenal along with self-sufficiency. And they agree to take the sale, and that's what saves the ship. TNG was really good sometimes. It was in Season 1, but it is an episode in Season 1 that I actually do like. But yeah, like I said, we're going to be here a while. Because the only way to kill this planet is 1 point at a time. So take every single campaign we've ever run with a Federation ship trying to bombard a planet and times that by several times. I don't think they separated the saucer section in that episode. Because, like I said, it was in Season 1. and the probes just kept coming, and they defeated the probes, and the next one would come and more powerful, and that was sort of the selling point of the planet. It's very cool. I mean, I liked the concept, although I could look it up. Saw the episode as a commentary on the... Oh, so Maurice Hurley saw the episode as a commentary on the sale of F-14 Tomcats to Iran. How interesting is that? Good old early 90s diplomacy. Well, at 89, wasn't it? So they did separate the Arsenal of Freedom? Let's go look. I have time. Assessor. Oh yeah, LaForge calls Logan to the bridge and orders the saucer separation, leaving Logan in charge of the saucer and taking command of the Star Drive section from the battle bridge himself to return to Minos. Huh. There was a ship version of it. Jordy had to put some of the weapons on the ship to the atmosphere. Oh, we're taking damage to the vessel that we really don't want to take. Should pay attention to that, otherwise we might blow up the ship and all of this would have been for nothing. The trouble is they're actually doing a fairly decent amount of damage to us. How much power does a single S-type plasma torpedo take? That's the real question. Because if I can add an S-type plasma torpedo to the mix, I can accelerate this process. Because the S-type plasma torpedo cannot miss, so it'll hit. But by virtue of being, you know, being unable to miss. But no, I saw that get down to 2. 224? What? There's some junk episodes where there were some gems in season 1 too. Yep, there were a few. Although not many of them. Season 1 is kind of shaky. Although if I'm honest, Patrick Stewart could read the phone book and that would still be fairly interesting. So that's one of the reasons why, despite that awful teaser, I'm still looking forward to seeing what they'll do with the Picard series. Galaxy class were absolutely decent on paper, though as for why no New Age Federation class. The Galaxies were terrible. Like, several commentators have talked about it, but the argument comes down to basically it's trying to be everything at once while not committing to any of it, which is a bit of a problem. So it's too expensive to field on long-range explorations because it's a huge ship that's designed to fight a Galore class, but at the same time, because it's a science ship and it doesn't commit to the battle role, they end up having several major problems with it. I don't quite buy that. Galaxies are renowned in beta canon as being sturdy and having lots of auxiliary systems. It's only just because every single time we see it on screen, if the writers really want to push home the point that this is a dangerous episode, you have to kill a Galaxy class. So there's what, 3? There's 2 Galaxy classes killed on screen in TNG, and DS9 kills off like 3 or 4 of them. But that's just to emphasize that the Dominion are dangerous. Hey, I like Generations, you back off. That's only because they had... Okay, I can't even... Generations ruins a couple of things, but I still like that. I really did. Still do. Generations is still one of my favorite Star Trek movies. We all can like something terrible. Yes, more love for Generations. It deserves it. Computer, remove the plank. Number 1, I believe that was retract the plank. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot. 80-year-old Bop should have... Bird of Prey should have been a Negvar. Should have. That would have been really interesting. Although, how the Duras sisters would get their hands on a Negvar would be really interesting. In DS9, you see one get destroyed, the rest of the screen are just damaged? Oh, is it just the one? I thought they showed several of them were getting smashed completely. Although it's really kind of disappointing that in the Battle of Sectors... Wait, are we losing shields and shit? I think we are. I think that... Ooh, we're not doing as much damage as we need to. The woman who fell from the retractable plank was Patricia Tallman? Oh, that's it. Oh. Star Trek has so many little gems. Just for people who want to pay attention to them. There we go. Finally getting some hits on again. So, more plasma for the pain. Oh, there goes the forward shield. We're in trouble. It's time to leave. Actually, no, it's not. Stop. Don't get closer. Don't get closer. Just give me one turn. One ping only, please. Okay, that's back. Now shift it. Oh no, they shut it off again. Darn it. I want to save this. I don't want to lose this run. We've got a chance to actually take this gosh darn planet. But not if we take damage like this. Come on, turn harder, turn harder. Come on, give me the defense that I require. Aha! Shields are back in place. We shall continue. The ship's only a little bit dented. Favorite TNG movies was First Contact. First Contact is many people's favorite TNG movies. Pair, everything. If I have to do it, I will shut off one of these PPDs. Are you quite kidding me? PPD's offline. So our engines are 2 damaged at the moment. Okay, 1 PPD to online. Just the 1, though. It's becoming a bit of a problem. We need to sort of reform our shields, and that's going to take a little bit of time. Okay, we will fix the shuttle bay, we'll fix that, we'll fix that, we'll fix that. Okay, how much power do I currently have? How are they doing so much better now than they were before? There we go. Didn't get any hits on that. Oh, we're starting to really lose it. We may have lost the bubble. I may have gotten a bit too close. In fact, I know I did. They're starting to be just scarily accurate with their fire at this point. Right there? Yeah, that'll do. That should do. Better rolls on phaser damage? Yeah, but they're being really consistent about it, and that's what's got me worried. Like, I've gotten to the point where we've literally shut off one of our weapons. And we've restarted. That's not good. That's gonna take a little while. I don't want to lose this run. I think we've got a good run going in here. Do I not have any wild weasels? But I know that the shields are almost gone. All misses. That's not good. We needed to consistently be dealing damage here, and we're not anymore. That's a problem. That's a fairly serious problem. What's my shield reinforcement currently at? I haven't hit like C or something. No, we're just taking the damage now. Oh, that's what did it. I accidentally turned on one of the plasma torpedoes. Yeah, that explains everything. There we go. Yeah, okay, that puts us back up at 32 points of power. That still gets us to darn near 0. Jeez, that's a rough hit. We're too close. But we've got to be within a range of 25 if we want to actually be able to handle this. Yeah, we got to get more distance. We're gone. We are gone. Reinforce the aft shield. Okay, slow down the speed of time so I can think for a moment. I need this shield to a level of reinforcement. And we're going to come back, but the plan has changed slightly. I need to figure out the distance where it does 1 damage. Okay, 26 to 30. We can do that. We can do that. So, switch the reinforcement to here. And turn. So, at a distance of 30, we will deal 1 damage to the center line and 1 damage to the side. And that will actually allow us to continue our bombardment. And hopefully that'll also put us in a range bracket a little bit further out from the defenses and keep us protected from the plasma torpedoes, which were actually proving to be a little bit of a detriment. So we're going to come back in and stop right here. Okay, let's get these operating again. Of course, now we've got the problem of hitting him from this far because we are significantly less accurate. How inaccurate are we actually from this range? From this 28%. Oh, this is going to take even longer if we want to do this. This is not going to be fun. Alright, what did I miss during my panicked attempts to save the ship? Strange you don't see any galaxies at the Battle of First Contact. Yeah, I was thinking that too. Maybe they got blasted B/F. Oh, before the Enterprise showed up. Probably undergoing refits. The Venture should also have been defending Earth. Good point. So again, the Galaxy classes were long-range explorers. Yeah, but they never went on long-range because they were always too big and expensive to do that. They had to be flagships. And they kind of really weren't designed for that. Well, they were, but at the same time they weren't. Why not a Dreadnought version? Because that would have to admit that the Dreadnought version was an amazing idea. They didn't want to do that. AGT had that phaser lance, which just destroyed a Night Star. Or Enigma. Yeah, that was a good episode. It's one of the few times that we see the Galaxy class not, like, straight and level, but, like, coming up from beneath. Alright, so let's come up with a slightly more aggressive electronic countermeasures plan, because I need to accurately hit them the 28% of the time that I actually hit them. So can we take the hits from out here? This might have helped out a little bit. Still gonna take forever, but it helped out a little bit. And by forever, I mean a long time. Ooh, between 26 and 40, there's no difference in the current chart on the phaser damage. Did Kirk ever actually get command of the Federation, or is that beta apocryphal canon? Phaser lance was awesome. I can't believe they wouldn't find a way to stop the or something. Because they didn't have an in-universe design for it. Although the rapid-fire photon torpedo launcher was kind of like their version of that. Because it seems like they kind of like abandoned phaser weapons as a concept for being the primary way of dealing with Borg. Because most of those ships are part of the anti-Borg fleet. And so they really went all in on quantum torpedoes. Dreadnought was a book? Well, books are beta canon. Although I'm playing a game which is purely not even beta canon. Further back. When the Scimitar was a monster. The Scimitar was such a... I didn't like it. I was not a fan. Didn't like the design. I didn't like the fact that they had messed with the warbird design and made them look quite Klingon to me. But I suppose it was only par for the course. After all, originally the Bird of Prey supposedly was supposed to be a Romulan ship. And then became a Klingon one. Federation class vessels had some degree of high-tech tools such as holographic decoys and whatnot. There's a lot of interesting stuff in beta canon. We've got to figure out if he's reinforcing the shield. He's not, okay. Because if he's reinforcing both these shields, I can't penetrate it. But he's not. So we're still in business, and we have found a way to get back in. But that mistake of shutting off that SI plasma torpedo really cost us a lot. Cost us our long-range position here. Although him continually waste fire on the plasma torpedoes is such a waste. Please don't tell me we're boring down the other one. Saber, Accurate, Norway, Defiant, and Sovereign. Yep, the anti-Borg class. Centaur is more of a Riemann design, not a real warbird. Yeah, but it does some weird things to the canon. Like, the Peregrines are a thing, but we really don't get a lot of fighter carriers that we see all that much on the actual screen. They're more like roundabouts or light attack craft, more similar to pseudo-frigates than they are to fighters themselves. Also, the Riemann never used any of its fighters, so that seemed like to be such a waste. There's a lot about that movie that I'm just not a fan of. But then again, I think that's pretty common for many people. It wasn't a very good movie. The Picard punching holes straight through it. That's fun. Yes, the steam runner as well. What were we talking about before? That we were suddenly just, naming the DS9 sort of era of ships, which are all sort of placed under that new Borg fleet. Phaser lance for the win. I'd call it an evolution of heavy phasers. Yeah, but didn't they abandon that? You don't see any heavy phasers on any of the TNG ships. Nemesis was pretty terrible. Oh, come on, Gunners, you gotta be more accurate than that if we want to get this done this week. You're gonna spend the entire stream just sort of chatting about Starfleet Command movies, where light phaser fire sound effects happen in the background. You like Nemesis? Out of curiosity, why? And I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just saying I don't understand it, so please tell me the parts that were good to you. I mean, Data singing is always a blast, so there is that. Because Brent Spiner has a fairly decent voice. my favorite TNG movie has got to be... It's definitely First Contact, but Generations is definitely a close second. Best Star Trek movie of all time, though, is The Wrath of Khan. You liked Shinzon. Okay. I mean, I didn't, but I get it. Does Deanna command the bridge at any point in that episode? Yeah, she's the one at the tactical display when she's using her psychic betazoid powers to target the ship. I remember that. I also remember saying, is that actually how that works? Because I don't think that's how that works. Things were pretty much calmed down at that point. Took the Borg to force the Federation to reintroduce warships to the fleet. Well, the Cardassians kind of did that too, didn't they? Yes, Lauren.com. It is the best of all the movies. If the Romans had gone with the plan. Yeah, really, in my opinion, I'm of the opinion that it was the Cardassian War that kind of started pushing the Federation back into being a little bit more of a military. Like, the Borg were there, but they were always an ancillary threat since it was, like, supposedly years before they were going to be able to show up. And also, they started scrapping the designs. Like, the Defiant, they never actually built it. They made a prototype, and then they put it into production. And then apparently they have the Sao Paulo waiting around just randomly. And another one way off in the distance that they were giving to cadets. Oh, some of the things in Star Trek don't make sense, but that's okay because it's fun anyway. Okay, gunnery crew, I'm going to need you to dig deep on this one. You've got to be accurate. I don't know, was that 2? Cardis couldn't exactly complete. The Cardis are what pushed them to build the Galaxy. I mean, one of the big points of the Galaxy class was it had to be able to stand up to a Galore class cruiser. So, if anything, the Cardassians did have a significant push on the Federation in certain things. Oh, they didn't know about the Dominion. I'm talking about the Borg. Message in a bottle? Remind me. Because I will have to come around and message in a bottle. Should have specified D and G instead of just putting it in there. Similar to ship in a bottle, message must be sent within the next 41 minutes so the ship will move out of range. I don't think that's accurate. 709 finds an abandoned subspace. That's Voyager, I don't count it. Sorry, but I don't. Voyager 1 takes place sort of far along in the timeline. And the reference that I'm talking about comes from TNG, I believe. Yeah, but the Prometheus... Okay, so the Prometheus has nothing to do with the Galaxy class. I think we've got a couple of cross-communication wires here. The Cardis couldn't compete once the Federation sprinted forward, but the Cardis were definitely on the Federation's mind when they were building the Galaxy. This thing of Starfleet was building loads of Defiant classes. Why was only one Defiant class Defiant at First Contact? Yep. Yeah, I'll give that. Although apparently more were built. I just don't ever recall seeing them. Because you've got the Defiant, you've got the Sao Paulo, and then you've got the one that the Red Squadron cadets all had. So there's at least 3 Defiants in the well, 2 Defiants, because... Well, no, 1 Defiant, because both of those get blown up. At one point, there were 3 Defiants. Voyager happens at the same time as DS9. Yeah. But Message in a Bottle is what, Season 4? Okay, open it up again. Message in a Bottle is, yeah, Season 4. So by that point, Voyager starts at what point in DS9? I think the Feds stepped up their production because of the Borg. They did. Yeah, because when is the first episode of Voyager? Like, in timeline? Isn't it like Season 4 or 3? Yeah, but I'm talking pre-design. So, the Galaxy class is designed specifically to be able to fight a Galore class. The next ones up are the Sabre, the Steamrunner, the Norway. The Akira's are their brand new battle cruiser, which is just also a carrier, apparently, but nobody can quite decide what they want to do with that one because fighters in Star Trek are weird unless you're playing Shattered Universe. And the Defiants were made for Borg combat, but then sort of canned because they couldn't figure it out. Mid-season of DS9? Yeah. They only had one model. No, I had one model, so every single Defiance you see is different Defiance and never on the screen at the same time. What do we got? Come on, please tell me we're doing something. Nope, we're not. We're working backwards. Okay, guys. If we want to do this, we gotta get closer. If we get closer, we're probably gonna die. So, let's get closer. Let's give it a shot. Not gonna work, but it's gonna give it a shot, and I'd like to actually win this. Maybe we need to kick our complacency. Oh shoot, I got way too close. No, I need to get to 25. 25 is the magic number. Plasma. Okay, I can work with that. Oh yeah, I had to beef up the anti-defenses. And give me a distance of 25, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 0. Stop. Okay, there we go. Fire! The defiant call they gave to the cadets was called the Valiant. Yes. If you think about it, was built to hard counter the bug ships but at the same time also able to protect itself versus the Borg. But they hadn't even heard of they hadn't heard of the Dominion at the time when the Defiant was first made. I mean, that's a fact. Because they're all going to, oh, what is this Dominion? Whenever they're in deep space. You've never heard of the Dominion? All that. I need like 3 more points of power on this ship. And I don't have it. Except from here, which will reduce our accuracy. Drop it to 3. Give me back some power. Because we're so close to being able to actually do this. We really are. It's just that this ripple salvo they're about... Wait, where did a fairly significant chunk of our power go? We should be at 30-something. We're at 28.5. That's not right. I'm not traveling anywhere. Or maybe I just... No, I didn't, because I had to keep the attack shift offline. Left adrift, but salvageable. Originally, they were going to blow it up. Like, the original script had them having the ship lost. And then they said there was no point in actually destroying the ship. There was no reason to do it. And so they stepped it back. Because the Defiant was put into mothballs because of its problems, and Cisco got it back to fight against the Dominion. Which apparently resolved all the problems. Somebody needs to explain that one to me. I am so tempted to just start preparing things. Power issues with it? Yeah, the ship would nearly blow itself in half when I fired its weapons. But apparently all of that was fixed. I think they mentioned how they did it, but I can't remember at the moment. A little. It was a fairly good movie. Although, who was it? Was it... The heck? So did anybody else hear that explode? Because suddenly things get really weird. Is my mic still working? Yes it is. Well, I heard this really weird fuzzy explosion thing. I don't know if that got picked up. The game is breaking down. Yes, we've been fighting for 40 minutes. Come on, fire. Fire. Weapons to shoot. There we go. Q's getting bored. Well, you guys asked for it, to be fair. We are starting to get through again, so there's that working for us. If he causes enough damage, we'll actually take it down. So, and more plasma. During an investigation, managed to capture a planet. Well, you can do that. I mean, I don't think there's any reason why you couldn't capture a planet during an investigation. But once again, we are cutting through, which does mean that we have a chance. We just need to be lucky on the next several rolls for everything and victory. I wonder if it would be worth putting power into the electronic countermeasure system. Will you counter? You will not. Ooh, okay. Now you're starting to counter. Alright, how many points of power do we think it's worth to attempt to counter the incoming damage? Because 1 point of power is 1 point of damage defended. But every missed shot is still a missed shot. goes back down. It's gotten to the point where I've had to closely manage this. I think I can do it, but it's wasteful. I think it'll be fine. Dad said he managed to blow up a planet via self-destruction. I figured I'd repeat that. I didn't know you could do that in this game. As far as The Wrath of Khan, this is the best Star Trek movie, maybe one of the best sci-fi films of all times. Had the best uniforms? Ooh, I don't know. Nemesis uniforms are really good. Had the most military-looking uniforms. And you know, had that little hand blood flap that they have on the uniform. That's always fun. All right, so we're through 2 of the shields at the moment. We're providing 1 point of defense shift. We've kept them down to 1 point of attack shift, and we've got 25.5 points of power in the forward shield. This will be interesting. The monster maroons. The Wrath of Khan is definitely the best military Trek. Although the God, what is it? The Undiscovered Country? Not that one. God, what is it? The episode with the negotiations with the Klingons because the moon exploded. What is the name of that one? I'm totally spacing on the name and I know I should know it. Just go to investigation and try yourself. Because that one had a really good starting briefing scene. It's like really good. Also has some fantastic interplay between Shatner and Nimoy. It was Undiscovered Country? I thought Undiscovered Country was what does God need with a starship? At least that's what my brain is currently telling me. Okay, so everybody has agreed, so I must be incredibly wrong. Everything I know is a lie. V and VI. Alright, do I send a probe? Because that's another point of power that I don't get back. At least not for a turn. We'll wait for the big blast. That's Final Frontier? Oh, okay, yeah. Thank you. What do we got? Oh, look at that! We've got serious damage already. We've knocked out 4 plasma torpedoes. One of those is an R. And we've dented one of his Phaser 3 arrays. His 40 Phaser 4s are still online, though. And that's kind of the danger. Oh, come on. Final Frontier is good just because of that line. That is one of my favorite lines in all of Star Trek. What does God need with a starship? And also, it was a lot of fun years later of reading the Q books, where it basically goes in on that. About the great galactic barriers on the outside and the inside to keep out the creature. Stuff that does not get talked about much longer. 3 was a heartbreaker and a heartbreaker? Yes. Let them die. Oh, I love that scene. Just that entire briefing, but that scene where it's like, you should have trusted me. That is one thing that the original series movies have that the JJ verse reboots just, they haven't captured. I do not buy the relationship between Kirk and Spock in the new Trek movies. I don't see any sort of sense of camaraderie or brotherly love or any of that. And it's really kind of painful because they're going over old lines that I love so much and were done so well. And yet, it's so hollow. Enterprise, after 40 years of service, takes herself out so that Kirk and his bridge crew can live on and save Earth. The chemistry, yes, it is that chemistry. Now, to be fair, New Trek movies didn't have the original series, The Series, to start that out. But there is something seriously missing between them. Although, you know, I think they're done. Don't get you started on Janitor. Hey, to be fair, I like the first one. What is it, Star Trek 2009, is it? That's actually fairly decent. And also has some really fantastic Sulu love in those movies. Just the whole I'm not bluffing speech was great. Because it's definitely emphasized Sulu as the captain, and it kind of makes me wish that we got sort of the new Trek would be about Sulu instead of Kirk, because that would get you close enough to the original cast while at the same time allowing you to explore new ground. Because Sulu is a great character. He really is. And he's a lot of fun, and they did a fairly decent job of having him on screen. But they decided they had to go with the old stuff. The new Spock was where new Spock saw the picture with OG Spock and the crew. Yeah, OG Spock is the best thing about that movie. JJ butchered a lot of ships. Well, okay, so the visual reboot I can be okay with. I'm not happy with some of the starship designs, although with that said, some of the other starship designs for the rest of the fleet were very good. They were so good that Axanar uses most of them. I mean, if you look at the ships in Prelude to Axanar, you can spot most of them where they come from, for the most part, from the initial fleet jumping into Vulcan space. And also, it is one of the better depictions of what warp would look like from the outside, with that whole bubble look in the third movie. Most of that movie's trash, but that's actually pretty decent. And the Kelvin is not inherently a bad design. The problem with the Kelvin is it's gigantic. And shouldn't be. That's the problem with a lot of the JJ ships. Actually, they're too big to fit in with the rest of the Star Trek series. Trek Yards has done some phenomenal look backs through at sort of like what was being done at the time. By the way, I would launch probes to figure out more of what's going on, but we're kind of out of probes, so we're just sort of trying to figure out how much damage we're taking at this point. Because I'd like to get a little closer. Yeah, the Star Trek movies are dead. They were trying to do another one, but they needed Chris Pine, and also they needed Thor. And as you may have guessed, Christopher Evans is expensive now. Is it Chris Evans? No, that's Captain America. Who's Thor? Who is Thor in the Thor movies? Not the comics. Cinematic Universe. That's the one I want. It is adapted by Chris Hemsworth. That was it. I knew it was there. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth, who plays Kirk's father, was supposed to be in the next Star Trek movie. Yep, Raiders got it. Kelvin should be about the size of an Aquila class. Yeah, or a little bit bigger, but not much bigger than that. Because honestly, the Kelvin looks really good. It does. Like, I'm a fan of the design. I think it's fantastic. My only problem with it is just how gigantic it is. It's like, because if you look at the Kelvin, and when it first swoops on the screen, it's like, oh wow, that's really good. They've done a great job of sort of updating the visuals, but kind of keeping that classic Trek look. And then when you go in later on and you see the size comparison, it's like, okay guys, you may have gone a little bit much. Although I also did love like the little phaser turrets coming out, and the way in which it had a mix of phaser turrets that were firing little pulses and also beams. I thought it was very visually appealing, which, you know, Hollywood does phenomenal visuals, but Constellation was an awesome design though. Constellations? The four nacelle destroyer type things that Kirk is, or not Kirk, but Picard served on? Am I thinking of the wrong ship? I'm thinking of the wrong ship of a lot of things lately. So we're gonna have to take that with a grain of salt. I have way too many tags open at this point. Because we're trying to bombard a planet, and we're actually winning at this point, which is interesting. It's Constellation. Yeah, it is. Okay. Kira to me is another cool design, although I'm actually different from the Connie. It's flatter. If you actually look at about the Kirov, and I'm going to flash the screen for a second. The ship that I have for my title cards, this thing here, that's a Kirov class, and as you can see, the nacelles are flat. So instead of being slanted upwards, they just go straight out. It actually does look quite nice, and I happen to be quite the fan of it, which is why it adorns my title cards. Stargazer, Picard commanded her for 20 years. Showed up in the battle. Which is a great episode. Kumrami is low-key one of my more favorite disposable characters in Star Trek. He's a lot of fun. Anti-Trekker did a review of that episode recently. We missed every single one. You've got to be kidding me. Did a review of that episode, and it was not kind to the episode. But there were a couple of moments where he did point out some things that I really like sort of the attitude between Kirk and Picard and Riker when they were about to start the contest, and how they saw it as like a contest of wills, and how it sort of showed through that military side of Star Trek in a very positive way. I like that a lot. But Kumrami is a lot of fun too. I wish he had been in more things. Apparently the Stargazer was abandoned because of the polonium outbreak in one of the science labs. Oh, interesting. Time to charge plasma and crew at speed 1. Yeah, they don't really seem to be shooting back at us much, do they? Red alert! Let's go. Let's go see what we have to fight. We've reduced our defenses down from 28.5 to 16.5. This will have an effect on the enemy. Picard already jumped ship and we're waiting for the fires to die out. Most of this has got to not be in that episode because I do not remember that. But hi, Stephen. Welcome to the stream. I don't think I saw you come in, but glad you could join us. We have just been basically chatting about Star Trek episodes and movies and stuff because, well, we've been fighting this battle for 51 minutes and 24 seconds. So we are here to party. Alright, plasma. Let's set up the siege group in its entirety. All the plasma selected because we are now within EPT range. Open fire! Yeah, the planet, the guns, they've stopped. 18 Marines left, though. Are we getting ready to run for the escape pods? Let's hope not. Oh, God. Enveloping plasma torpedoes have indeed been set up. Make sure we select everything. Alright, bombard. As we continue to close. If we don't bombard as we continue to close, we'll probably die, but I'm really surprised that they're still not shooting. I would love to send... You know what? I have one. Go. You give me information. That's how this works. I am totally sacrificing you for the good of the ship. Because he will actually pass within range before we do, and he can give us actual data on what's going on. I said harass. Go back. Go back. How about attack? Be aggressive. Assault the planet. Picard did his best to scuttle her, though. Left her to burn up in the gas giant, but the Stargazer designed to allow for her survival. Oh, cool. Giorno, welcome to the stream. Also did not realize you were coming in. Took Bach 9 years to clean up the ship. Wow. Let's pay attention to what I'm doing, otherwise I'll forget about the actual fight so I can read Star Trek trivia. So, now comes the bets. Do we finish this battle before this hits a full 60 minutes? Wow, we have been on stream for an hour and a half, and 60 minutes of that has been assaulting this planet. And we almost gave up halfway through. Are you ready? You can cheese asteroid monsters with shuttles? You can't anymore. They changed that. So what they did was they took away your ability to put Marines on it. Shuttle's scared to go in. He is. He's just sort of hiding around behind us. You know what? If you're just going to be a coward, get back in there. More plasma. We're about to close within range where we can identify the strength and weaknesses of the shields. We have closed within that range. There are no more shields on this planet. We have also annihilated all 40 of her phaser 4s. They have been silenced. Shuttle don't want no part of that planet. Well, there's nothing left on the planet, it seems. Unless we're about to... Ooh, I should really have done that before, but I'm going to do it now. I'm just gonna low-key prep one of these, just in case that any number of these are still online. Last time we checked, we knew that 4 of them were ready, or already destroyed. And one of them was an R-type plasma torpedo. 109 damage, so we're really crunching through now. Give me accurate data, I require it. Alright, the Wild Weasels are ready to go. Overload. Set and set. So if worst comes to worst, we can always dump a Wild Weasel at the very last second. But I think we beat the planet. You want to know the true tragedy of this, though? We're not going to actually take the tile by doing this. First time I faced off against an AMT was in the frigate, launched 2 shuttles and lapped as the AMT pursues... Oh, that's what you're talking about. No, I was talking about you used to be able to cheese the asteroid monsters before they patched it by beaming somebody over. Because they had no Marines and they would instantly self-destruct. No, that's the cheese I was talking about. Alright, we'll fix the transporters, and that just because, you know, they're damaged. Alright, so that planet has been conquered. They will not stop us this time. Marines, how are you doing? 2 to 1. They've already managed to defend themselves quite well. Yeah, monsters in general are not exactly the most brilliant things ever. But they do have some glaring weaknesses in them that you can take advantage of them. Come on. There we go! Successfully conquered. It only took 55 minutes and 19 seconds. Not bad. With a CCY. We got 495 prestige for that. We didn't take the damn tile. Oh, that's painful that we didn't actually take the tile. 105 points of repair. And a lot of spare parts. We used 25 spare parts in that little sortie there. Actually, quick, shipyard, hi. No, CCY for 3,300. We're already in one. So we're not going to get a new one anytime soon. Plus the failure of the engine failing anomaly mission, flying a plasma ship against someone with cloak. Yeah, congratulations. You've kind of won the worst battle to fight ever. Extended shore leave now? I mean, we could end the stream right now. Do you guys want to? Not necessarily opposed. I just normally would stream for 2 hours. So we'll get everything reset with that one. We only used up two shuttles. Alright, all equipped, all ready to rock and roll once again. Let's go head out into random space and see what we run into. A surprise reversed. Raider's like, no, keep flying. We'll fly for another half hour. That is the plan. Ready up. Hey, we brought a destroyer. Hello, Justice. Unfortunately, you're a fairly terrible destroyer for this mission. You've got 4 D-type plasma torpedoes, and I gotta tell you, I don't think they're actually going to defend themselves all that well against us. Just gotta go on a limb, but they don't really fight you all that hard on this mission. We also have brought the Town Saver, who is also not particularly well equipped for this. That's really terrible, actually. Wow. Good night, Thorbush. Happy you could have joined us for the period you were with us. We shall continue to fly the ISC on to Victory. And let's go enveloping, just so we'll have them prepared for the time period where nukes will start to fly. And by nukes, I mean, of course, heavy weapons. So let's just zip on in here. We'll hopefully wipe out these ships and sort of continue semi on towards Federation space. I'm starting to get the feeling that the ISC use pirate rules for actually conquering locations because of the way that they're incredibly inconsistent about what missions actually give you points and which ones don't. Okay, so let's be time. I could do that, but you've got him mostly handled. So you're not being touched at all. So you are all the same, basically. So I will focus on this guy in the back, because I thought you had him, but maybe not. There. We took care of it for you. PPDs. 1 miss, and then 7 more hits. Alright, they're mostly dead at this point. I'm going to hope that my Phaser 3s can kind of take care of this. Because if they can, then I won't have to use my plasma torpedo. My Phaser 3s were incapable of dealing with this, but on the bright side, I still have plasma torpedoes to go dish onto this people. Enjoy! Although I don't know if a single plasma S is actually going to be able to take out a planet. An R would. S, not so much. But S, I can follow up with more phasers. Because that would be helpful. The Hitman. He's gone. No longer to exist and plague our existence. Will the Town Saver actually get into the fight? That's the true question. The true question behind Christmas. Plasma torpedo. The Jackerman? Jarkman? Not sure what a Jarkman is, but I get the feeling that I should actually know what that means. Okay, you've been taken care of. You are currently undamaged, so target him. A destroyer is active. Okay, let him be active. Hang on. Will you stop? I'm trying to actually get him. Thank you. Jeez. Alright, on to the final target. He may turn himself on, but I don't think he's actually going to be able to pull anything off. At this moment, he is mostly out of power. What? I think that's probably the longest range phaser kill we've ever made. I need to go back and actually figure out what the distance on that actually was, because that was ridiculous. A PPD I might accept. A phaser? No. 300 prestige, of course, for our rewards, and a tile taken. Zip up over here. Say hi to the Gorn a little bit more, because we need to basically blast our way through Gorn and Romulan space if we want access to the Federation. So, ready that one up. And maximum alert. And get ready for all sorts of crazy combat, enveloping plasma torpedoes. I would overload the PPD if I thought it was actually doing any good, but I don't want to get that close to the enemy to actually do that. Because when you overload the PPD, your maximum range becomes 8, and your minimum range is 3. Not exactly the most brilliant combination you can ever make. Let's go and prepare a little bit of defensive forward shields. There we go. I see the enemy. It is a single frigate. I'm loving this battle already. Even if... yeah, probe. Is he all alone? Oh, he's all alone. Please tell me he's an FLG. He's not an FLG. He's actually going to defend himself quite heavily. He is a BDD. A battle destroyer. Because not just your normal destroyer or your heavy war destroyers, but this guy, he came ready for battle. Never gonna make that joke ever again. I apologize to everybody. Okay, and we can pull away, and more speed. And this setting to off. And this is going to hurt a heck of a lot more than it otherwise should. I do that way too much, I've noticed. We just take way more aft shield damage than we should. I'm starting to think maybe I should put all my shield defenses towards the aft. I think that might save us a lot of pain in the long run. In any event, if he wants to run from me, I'm perfectly content to letting him do that. I've got the better weapon for it. But if he wants to get close, I'm also perfectly content to do that because I've got the better weapon for it. So honestly, I could go either way with this one, man. I mean, take your pick. Either way, you die. And increase the speed of time. If you're going to do that, I'm just going to bombard you. I've already had to fight one gigantic evil planet. So as you can see, your attempts at humor have failed. That was fake. Allow me to introduce myself. I am a CCY with way more firepower than you do. Okay, he survived that. That wasn't part of the plan, if I'm completely honest. I mean, I suppose I could steal the ship, but I get the feeling that his F-type plasma torpedoes can come back online before I'm ready for it. Let's slow way down. Just sort of hang with it. See what we can actually pull off here. I could steal the ship, but I'm not going to bother. I think I'm just going to shoot him to bits. Oh, his F-type plasma torpedoes unloading. There we go. Perfect. Although a little disconcerting that we couldn't take out a single BDD without taking any damage. To be fair, we were traveling fairly quickly. So maybe that's not the best comparison. 172 prestige is our reward for a job well done and a tile taken. A bit more pressure out here. Surprised reversed once again. Okay, I don't necessarily mind. Especially if you give me reinforcements, because then I don't really have to care about what's going on. Unfortunately, we have no friends on this one, so that's going to be more than a little painful. And we got a heavy cruiser to worry about, so let's go Plasma 3 enveloping, Plasma 4 enveloping. I'm really tempted just to set them to the same button and be done with it, but that wouldn't necessarily be the best idea. Let the phaser capacitor charge up. There we go. And now that gives us so much more power to steal from. This is our maximum speed until systems start fully charging, so that's a bit painful. And the PPD is up. And now the enveloping plasma torpedoes, so this could be a bit of a problem. Alright, we're at maximum power, and the enveloping plasma torpedoes are done. This is as fast as she goes, 24.5. We are fighting a CCHF, which, not the most dangerous thing in the world, but dangerous enough if it's going to become in a large group, which it probably is. We've got 2 destroyers and a pair of frigates as well. That's not fun. PPDs to fire, please. And you to fire. And you to fire. And phasers for the follow-up. I think we've managed to strip away most of that armor. Let's see if we can't hit him with enough firepower. There we go. That was the plan all along. Alright, slow down. We've got an FLG over here, and we've got an HFF. HFF is more dangerous, so you're the target. Okay, so we got 2 FLG frigates, which are not the worst thing in the world, but this destroyer, while not being the worst thing in the world, also is dangerous. What I-types? What? We've got 2 S-typed plasma torpedoes, yes? I don't understand the question, I'm afraid. Marines, you might be involved. Oh, only 4. Yeah, you very much could be involved. The Comet Killer. We don't have time to push him into a rock. That would take quite a lot of time, actually. Because by the time we actually got it to the rock, they would be shoving back at us. Are you the police ship, or no, you're also an FLGP? Slow down, slow way down, because I'm about to have a PPD strike ready for him. And I'd like to be able to make it. And we're too close. Target him. So we got just a little bit too close to actually use our PPDs, but our PPDs over here can get in on target. Quite a bit of damage done on that one. Lovely. Come up here with the phasers on this. You know what this ship needs? It needs fighters. Fighters would make this a lot easier. Pride's Law. Later, well, okay, so the I-type plasma torpedo, it's a shotgun defensive torpedo that will shoot at, whatchamacallits, thingamabobs, who's-a-moets, fighters, and pseudo-frigates. But you can also use it, it also generates 1 F-type plasma torpedo, which you can fire offensively once every 3 rounds. So, yeah, there's that. We've managed to take the bridge of the one destroyer, so that's lovely. Or maybe missiles? Okay, PPDs. And onto the police ship. So we take him out, and we've successfully accomplished the mission. But yeah, I-type plasma torpedoes are, in my opinion, not a great weapon system. Because they are hugely power intensive. Like, extraordinarily painfully so. Wait, did my destroyer just become active? Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, suns have some interesting stats on them. Suns? Did you know that a ship is destroyed long before it can collide? Yep. Yeah, the sun will start dealing damage to you at a distance of 60? And then the closer you get, the worse it gets. Although, as far as I can remember, I don't think I've ever run into a sun in this game, but I have run into suns in Starfleet Command 1. Let's get a couple more neutral zone missions. Finally, straight up patrol. Something we can actually do. Unfortunately, we're in Romulan territory, so this could get ugly and take a long, long time. So let's go maximum alert and overload the plasma torpedo. Actually, no, we want to set this to normal. Plasma torpedoes have been set to enveloping. Lovely. Also need the wild weasel, because Romulans have plasma torpedoes, as do we all. It's really these three races in this corner of the galaxy who all get plasma torpedoes. Where is the enemy? But yeah, the closer you get to the sun's corona, the worse it gets. Hey, it's a Klingon. No, it's not a Klingon. It's a Romulan ship. It's KRCS, which actually is fairly decent, if I recall correctly. How much did it scare you? Did what scare me? The sun? At the time, I didn't really think anything of it. And then eventually I started, like, trying to see how deep into the sun's corona I could get with a larger and larger ship. It was one of those weird things. Okay, so you're gonna be super dangerous, actually. I need to get one heck of a move on it, actually. Let's go this. Reinforce the aft... not that one. I want the aft shield, amazingly enough. Because I'm gonna actually plan for this. Can you use the mine tractor combo? Yes. Yeah, running into the sun actually was relatively amusing. Okay, we need to get up to speed and run away. Would have scared you. Weird terrain makes the game interesting, though. Because then you can, like, if you're a larger ship, you can grab a smaller ship and start dragging it into the sun, and you can take more damage than it can. It's rather funny, actually. It's like, hi, I'm going to take you all the way to hell. Alright, so we need to figure out a way to get him to fire his plasma torpedoes from well beyond effective range without ever being able to make it to maximum speed. That's our maximum speed, by the way. And I want him to fire... You've got a lot of plasma. Of course you do. You're going to be a problem. Let's get ready with a mine. So we're going to turn nice in this direction. Actually, no, I don't want him. I want him to get closer, and I want him to try and hit me. That... Okay, shoot the second one. I don't care about that. I care about the second one as well. There you go. Okay, lovely. So we should be able to burn these down to nothing. That's all of his plasma. I anticipate a cloak at any moment. But once I burn these down, I can immediately turn around and attempt to use my defensive, well, offensive weapons. Okay, let's get ready to rock and roll. Because we're going to have a very, very short period of time to do this. Slow way down. And the reason is because PPDs have a very, very short range. Unfortunately, we were within it. Surprise! That took out most of his shields. Unfortunately, that also took out our shields. But he's missing most of his at this moment, so that works out quite nicely. He does have a pair of D-type plasma torpedoes, which are unfortunate because... Actually, no reason specifically for us. But he did underrun my PPDs, which is irritating. So I do have another plasma torpedo, and it is ready to rock and roll. So I do want to use it on him, but he's being very smart, and he's running away from me at very high speeds. So it would be useless to try and use it. However, my PPDs are charging, and if he wants to play that game, I've weakened his shields to a point where my PPDs can cut through him like a knife through butter. So we've got that going for us. Also, a plasma torpedo kind of keeps him out of the fight. If he wants to get close, I can launch that, and that'll wreck his shields even worse. Although I do anticipate he'll turn back into fight very shortly. Just because of the way that the AI behaves. I would like to close within a range of 15 again. It's got a 73% chance of actually having accurate shots with the PPD. Oh, are you going to try and undercut me again? So do that. See if I can't push you away, because that's real, son. Oh, I'm going to have the time. Okay. Should have seen that coming. I kind of didn't think he'd do it, because he didn't do it the first time. Hit and run. I want this and this gone. And then phasers. Should have fired the phasers first and then done that. But we're learning. We're learning how to fly ISE again. Takes a little while to learn. Because it's a perishable skill. A little more phaser fire. Just to sort of keep him honest. We'll cut back in around. There goes his wild weasel. We have one as well. We haven't used it yet. We did try nuking some of his plasma. Unfortunately, it didn't work out quite as well as I had anticipated. And yeah, he's going to have that over-the-shoulder plasma. This to... No, keep it on. Okay, bounced most of that. But he will have another one ready to go very shortly. And I'm going to say Marines, hold for order. Your shields are open, sir. Nuke it! Nope, we'll pull away. Hi! And we did take more... Or no, he took more damage. That's good. We've dented one of his plasma torpedoes, so that works out quite nicely. Don't mind, he's blown off one of our plasma torpedoes as well. So that is less than lovely. So, repair that. Repair that. How's my high energy chances looking? 78 is not terrible, but the last time I tried an 83, it crashed the entire dreadnought and we got killed. It was very, very painful. Speak from a great deal of experience at this point. Okay, I can absorb that, honestly. So, let's go... Defenses. Defenses off. I will take the hit, because I will be able to take it. Lovely. Alright, so he's fired both of his plasma torpedoes. He's within a range. That shouldn't be real. Oh, it might be, though. Forward shield reinforcement is... non-existent, because it's in the back at the moment. Forgot about that. Could fire a plasma torpedo, but I don't think it's worth it. We're gonna swap the shield back up to the front. Because that was the original intention, and that did not work out. We are slowly beating him into submission. I mean, he's running out of systems, and he's already taken damage. And by running out of systems, what I meant to say was he's running out of shuttles. So, pull up to a speed of 10, because I'm really happy keeping him right there. And if he wants to toss a plasma torpedo over the shoulder, I will absorb it from this distance. Because I think I can. 10 damage? Yeah, we should be okay here. Yeah, we took that. Slow down a little bit. We don't want to get too close. We want to stay right at PPD range. If he wants to try and play games like this, we can actually really take advantage of him on it. So I'll slow down a little bit more. Don't want to close too quickly. I'm perfectly happy to stay outside of a range right around to about 15. Because then I can do this. And he's just killing himself every single time he does anything. And he's lost his shuttle bay. You don't say. Oh, that's very unfortunate for you. Got another SI plasma torpedo charging, but we did get a successful hit. He's turning into me, so let's give him a treat. Let's reward him for his aggressive behavior. So all the way down. Forward shield reinforcement is... Yeah, we're at bumper cars here, so we're just going to bump it. He did have the plasma or the Wild Weasel shuttle, and we bounced that without any cares in the world. Wish I had a slightly better idea of what he was currently sitting at in terms of weapon recharge rates. Because that's probably real. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to do that. Just to make sure. Don't want to worry about it. And go prep another one of these. So we got another Wild Weasel ready. And we're about to have another plasma torpedo ready to go. And that should be a very unpleasant surprise for him to have to deal with. In fact, I'm going to stop at the moment. See if I can't hold the range open long enough to get another PPD shot in. Because if I can, and it's got to be tight. 2, 3, 4. Lovely. Plasma torpedo coup de grace. And turn this off because I'm wasting Marines. Beautiful. Alright, so that is taken care of. So the CCY superior to the Romulan battlecruiser. Pardon me. Yeah, that worked out quite nicely. 278 prestige. That's a little light considering what we actually took on. Because that's a fairly powerful cruiser. So repair that. Actually, shipyard, hi. What are we dealing with at the moment? Because I think we're getting into a new era. There's another CCY we could buy. Oh, I'm really tempted. What do you guys think? Should we pick up another CCY? Sort of thicken up our PPD setup? Although we could pick up a Star Cruiser for slightly less. but I think I'd want a CCY just for the increased amount of PPD firepower. Because synced up PPDs is really dangerous, especially if you're fighting a non-plasma torpedo race. Although, how much is my current ship? Raider's like, yes, allies, please, anything. Alright, we'll go with another CCY. We can do that. This is going to make the fights a little bit more difficult. And by a little bit, I mean a lot more difficult. The Acceptor. So let's go restock ourselves, because honestly, I don't think the Acceptor needs much of anything. Really, it's just us who I really care about. Because the Acceptor should be able to handle everything himself. Pop over here, we'll go take a tile. A straight-on scout, or a convoy raid. Let's grab the convoy raid. Let's see what they actually managed to bring up against us, because a convoy raid would be very nice with, as long as they don't have too good of defense.
Prepare for battle.
Alright, so technically we have not mixed the ships properly. What we should be doing is we should be mixing our ship in with a pair of plasma torpedo heavy cruisers, because we have the PPD, and our job is to use our PPD at maximum range, whereas the other two ships will get in close, use plasma torpedoes, and bombard the enemy into crap. But if I really wanted to do this, should have grabbed a pair of light cruisers or destroyers with heavy plasma armaments. But I like PPDs, and I think that if you start massing PPDs above a certain level, you achieve a critical mass with which the enemy cannot defend themselves against. Say, for example, 3 X-type heavy bombardment cruisers all focusing their PPDs on a single target. It starts becoming rather ridiculous. Let's go see what he's got. You're an FSPL. You're a PT3, you're an APT, FSPL, is that all I see? Yeah, that's all I see. So the rest of the convoy is elsewhere, and we are in the chase position. So we're going to have to pick up the pace a little bit so we can actually get onto target. Probably should actually turn my plasma torpedoes off from being in an enveloping mode, but I very much like them to be there because of the amount of firepower that it gives me. Reinforce the forward shield and increase the speed of time, so we can actually just get on to them soon enough. Somewhere out there. That's... oh, damn, there's 2 of them. That's one hell of an escort. Okay, who's in front? Right now, the Firehawk is... that's not good. That's levels of not good, actually. They've got a lot more firepower than we do for a close-in knife fight battle. I could take on one of these guys. Even with friends, though, it's going to be tight. It's going to be very tight. Break formation. Let's see what you do. Yeah, this is a really dangerous escort. And I don't have my torpedoes ready yet. Or my Wild Weasel ready. I got to break out of this fight. Full power to engines, and we'll pull away. So... they're going to focus pretty much everything they've got on me? Are you going to break off? No, the Noble Hawk's not. Noble Hawk's just unloaded with a... please stop. Please. You're going to die. Oh, wow. The timing on that. You know what? Return to formation. Get back in here. Because we can use that against them. So get back here as fast as you may. Esragor and PFTs are not far away from BTHs. Like, I turn into help, we can win. Like, he's already managed to pretty badly maul the Fides and the Conductio. I'm kind of surprised at the amount of damage he's done so far. But the goal is to take on this convoy. And if I want to take on this convoy, I've got to go for the convoy now. Because we're already in a far chase position. We are not capable of hitting a speed of 31, which means this is going to take a while. So, we're probably going to lose the Benevolence. Or not the Benevolence, but the Acceptor on this mission, actually. Because I can't go back to help him. If I try, we'll get killed. Or, actually no, if I did that, we would win. I have pretty high confidence we actually would win the battle. But we would run into a problem of the convoy would get away. And we're kind of here to take on the convoy. So, that's... a bit irritating that we just got that ship and now it's all going to go away. Alright, let's slow down a little bit. Prepare this. Actually, I should be focusing on you because you're going to be the hardest to kill. If I do this fast enough, I might be able to zip in and save him. But that's going to be very tight, actually. Alright, so plasma torpedoes. Select. Get me close enough. Want to hit him with my plasmas. That'll kill you. I've already ordered him to. He'll try, but he's already wrapped up in a fight. Yeah, see, he's running as fast as he can now. But it's not going to be enough. Oh, the tractor beam sound glitch. By the time he actually gets there, now we're going to have a Firehawk and a Nova Hawk right on top of us. And that's just going to be levels of pain. Marines. Capture. Capture. Go. Oh, darn it, I turned too much. Because Marines will be the other way to sort of take care of this. Why would you do that? Like, what in your mind told you that this was the plan? Okay, I'm gonna let you do it. I mean, I'm not gonna stop you, but I think you may have made a bit of a grave mistake. Hi, Acceptor. Welcome to the fight. Welcome back. Oh, he's let go. I think he's also fired a plasma torpedo. He's dead. So I hope you didn't fire a plasma torpedo with that one, because he's no longer in existence. You know what? At this point, plasma's to normal, because I'm here to take out a convoy, and there's several of them. Yeah, they're starting to come over. We've got 2 more ships to take care of. I'll fire the PPD. I don't want to get in too close, because the PPD won't work within a range of 4. We're about to breach that range. 1, 2, 3, 4. Phaser ought to be able to be enough to take care of him in just a moment. Or you could take care of it, thank you. And now on to the Armored Priority Transport, who is the sole survivor. I'm really surprised he took as little damage as he did. So that's kind of working out for us. Prep another Wild Weasel, because we're going to need it. And Tractor Beam, going to need that as well. Because I'm not enveloping mode on this one, so I'm going to need to actually grab onto him. Phasers. All weapons fire. Didn't need it. Okay, so the mission is accomplished. Send a probe. What do we got? Yeah, they're ready for a fight. We go. We leave. All powered engines, and we set course away. Because I really don't want to lose my ship here. And this escort will beat the crap out of us. Quite heavily, actually. Oh, they couldn't have asked for a better defense. 2 Firehawk, well, a Firehawk and a Nova Hawk? That kind of firepower is not... It's not the sort of firepower that you just throw at somebody. Actually, maybe not. How about you? Yeah, they're both ready for a fight. So... as soon as this is ready, we're gonna go and fight them. We're gonna give them the fight that they crave.
Sensor decoy ready.
Okay, that's 2 sensor decoys ready. And... I want you. 16 versus 12. 12 I could take. 12 we could take in relatively short order. Okay, here's the plan. Operation You Belong to Me, buddy. So let's rock and roll. AI ships do cross the border by tricking them, by basically you go over the border, then you take over the next ship and you go over the border. So that I'm not concerned with, but we're gonna go in and we're time to get rocking. Come on, PPD, there we go. So the order is focus on the Firehawk and save him, or take him, as the case may be. 3, 2, I gotta. It's terrible, it's terrible, it's bad. And you fired at my buddy. That's okay, that's fine. You used 2 of your S-type plasma torpedoes, which means you have still more firepower. Yeah, open fire. Let's break to 4. Lovely. I can bounce this. I could bounce that, but then I forgot to turn off my emergency defenses, so turn that off. Okay, next target. Are you both hiding like little children? You little... Okay, so we now need to make him no longer a thing. I can't give this guy multiple orders. He won't obey them. So I've got to basically set up my own explosive thing. Got you. Okay. Everything you've got. You know what? This one. Thank you. So we start weakening him as much as we can. And we're ignoring the Nova Hawk at the moment, because the Nova Hawk, I can't do anything about it. Plasma, 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 more plasma. Destroy. Will that free up plasma torpedoes to fire? It will not. So we're basically at this moment waiting. for him to finish being a jerk. 15 damage only. From a plasma torpedo that does 30 damage, he does half. So I've got to hold on to him just to keep him revealed. Although, please don't decloak. That would just be terrible. Oh, that's beautiful. And he also fired his plasma torpedoes to go on top of that. Alright, Marines, how are we doing here? Yeah, the Nova Hawk is going to be a problem. Cut! Still took that. Okay, target him. He's now our primary. Hi, buddy. So we lost our aft shields, but if he's fast enough, he'll pull out in front of us. I'm freeing you from formation. Accelerate and engage. And also, shoot whenever you feel like it. Oh, we got a good hit. It's a very good hit, actually. Fides. How long until Fides is mine? Wow, Fides fought that off. Okay, Fides is now ours. So I need to pull some distance on the Connectio if I want him. Because... yeah, of course he's gonna fire. Yeah, that happened a little while ago. There is a bit of a lag between what you guys see and what I see. So here's the plan. We need to get that tractor rocking and rolling once again. Because that will allow us to hold on to the enemy. And unfortunately, that does mean I can't use my PPDs, which is one of the big weapons that I've got to fight the enemy with. But he did give me time to get back around, which he probably shouldn't have done. So let's repair that. Tractor beam is ready to go. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to drop a mine on top of my buddy. And I think he planned that very deliberately. Maybe not. I mean, I do have to, of course, close within tractor range before I can start trying to steal him. So there is that. If he comes out of cloak, I've actually got a fairly decent number of weapons. Ooh, actually, that might be the best idea. Let him outside my range. Who just high energy turned?
Warp core stabilizing.
Oh, he's so close to being outside my range. No, he's... and there he goes. And PPDs are up. And this, pseudo, and pseudo. Okay, that didn't work quite as well as I'd hoped. So we got the one. We're down to this one now. And he's coming out of the cloak. Okay, all plasma. Fire. Oh, no! Oh, that was dumb. Tractor beam. We'll engage and hold him. Marines. Go. You. Yeah, you're all in formation. Open fire. Why did my tractor beam not take hold? Oh, I just didn't get close enough. So we're going to capture this ship as well. You cannot stop us. Oh, we're going to get the Nova Hawk too? I mean, we're going to get very badly damaged doing it, but we're still going to get it. What do I know better? Okay, a little bit more damage, and then one more tractor. Do I want to be here? For a little while longer, yes. We decided to have a nice little tractor party. Oh, that was cruel. Okay, we got more than enough Marines over on target that we've got them. Alrighty, so everybody steals the ship. So let's also make sure that we go over to our combat and tell them, please don't break the ship, just ruin the ship. Because we've got... Lovely. Oh, that was our hit and run teams? I had hit and run set up? Huh. I wasn't aware I had set up hit and runs. Alright, so that is 2 Hawk-class heavy cruisers, a Nova Hawk and a Firehawk, as well as the entire convoy destroyed. Now, I doubt it's going to reward us the way that we richly deserve to be. I mean, these are top-of-the-line Romulan cruisers. That's actually not terrible. So, 480 prestige. I wonder if that's actually going to pay for the repairs that we're desperately going to need. The Scepter especially. He took a pounding. 19 for us, but 303 for him. He also used up a ton of shuttles and no doubt a ton of spare parts as well. Yeah, he's out of Marines. I want to get a commando cruiser. Oh crap, we're in trouble. Because we're spending way more more than we can afford. We're gonna have to not do that again. Just because it's expensive as all heck. So 110, and the rest I suppose I'm going to spend on spare parts. Just to sort of give him an edge. Alrighty. So that's going to do it for today's stream. We got a little bit of decent work done, spreading out the influence of the ISC in general. Current idea is either the Federation or the Lyran's way in back, although that's one heck of a trip to actually have to make. So yeah, that'll be kind of interesting to see where we actually go from there. Alrighty, so anyway, I've been Tirek. If you like what you've been seeing, hey, check out the rest of the channel. We play Starfleet Command, which currently our mainline campaign is a Gorn campaign with the cohort. It's currently Gorn versus Klingons, which is, as you can see, one heck of a trip. We've been sort of struggling with the planet up here of, was it 5-6 or was it 5-8? Right around here, there's a, oh wait, no, it was 6-8. There's a planet that we're struggling to hold in the middle of Klingon territory. It's rather a difficult battle that we've been fighting with our D&T Dreadnought. The other game that we play on this channel is Rogue Tech. Rogue Tech is a Battletech game, a mod for it, which expands the galaxy, the mech lab, and basically makes the game a heck of a lot more like tabletop. I highly suggest you check it out if you've never heard of it. So anyway, I've been Tirek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe before you receive a notification every time I list one of these videos. Press the little bell icon too. Leave a comment as to what you thought about the stream. Where should we go for next? What would you like to see us attempt to do for the stream? The stream is very much driven by the players. I ask them sort of where we want to go, and that's sort of the thing we do. And I will see you all in the next episode.